It was a quiet night in the heart of New York City. The rain fell in heavy sheets, and the only sounds that could be heard were the distant hum of traffic and the occasional crack of thunder. But as the city slept, a storm far more dangerous was brewing in the shadows. For years, people had ignored him, underestimated him, and now he was ready to make them pay. New York City, the beating heart of ambition, power, and corruption. Amidst the towering steel structures and neon lights, it was also a place where the darkness thrived. Beneath the surface of its polished facade, a city of secrets waited to be uncovered. In this dark underbelly, one name echoed among the city's elite: the Shadow. But the Shadow wasn't born of tragedy. His origins were simple. He was a man who had once lived a quiet, idyllic life. A successful career in finance, a loving wife, a beautiful daughter, and a future that seemed as bright as the city lights themselves. Life was a dream, one many envied. But like all dreams, it was fleeting. It all began on a late evening when everything was supposed to change. He had just closed a major deal, the kind that would cement his place at the top. He walked home, eager to share the victory with his family. But when he stepped inside, something was off. The door was ajar. A chill ran down his spine. He pushed the door open, expecting to see his wife smile or his daughter's laughter. But the house was empty. The living room was in disarray, and his heart sank as he realized his wife was gone. His daughter, missing. There were no signs of a struggle, no ransom note, nothing. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. Days turned into weeks. The police scoured every lead, but all came to nothing. No one knew anything. In the absence of answers, something dark began to take root inside him, a hunger for vengeance. The darkness of loss slowly consumed him, eroding his soul. Months passed, and every waking moment became an obsession with revenge. The Shadow, once a man of dreams, became a cold, calculating machine driven by the need to destroy those who had taken everything from him. He dug deep into the city's criminal underworld, using his business connections to infiltrate its darkest corners. He learned the names, the faces, the weaknesses. The more he uncovered, the more he realized just how intertwined the city's elite were with corruption. Politicians, businessmen, law enforcement, all working together to create an empire built on the suffering of others. They thought they were untouchable. They were wrong. The first strike came quietly. A fire at a nondescript warehouse, owned by one of the city's corrupt figures. No lives lost, but the message was clear. The Shadow was coming. Soon rumors began to spread, whispers of a mysterious figure, always one step ahead, always watching. Mafia bosses, corrupt politicians, businessmen with skeletons in their closets all began to feel the heat. The Shadow was no longer a ghost. He was a force to be reckoned with. He started to make his moves more public. He struck at their egos, destroying their reputations. No longer just a whisper in the dark, the Shadow now made his presence known. He infiltrated their homes, exposing their dirtiest secrets. He was everywhere. No one was safe. The final act of his vengeance came when he uncovered the name of the man who had orchestrated the disappearance of his family. A man so powerful, so influential, that even the thought of challenging him seemed insane. But to the Shadow, he was just another target, a name on a list that needed to be erased. The showdown would happen in the most public way possible, a charity gala where the city's elite would gather in their finest, unaware that the very man they had wronged would be in their midst. The night of the gala arrived. The Shadow, dressed in an impeccable suit, blended effortlessly into the crowd. His eyes scanned the room, searching for the man who had destroyed his life. And there he was, the villain. A well-dressed figure, smiling, shaking hands, playing the role of a benevolent philanthropist. He was the face of power, the one everyone trusted. But when the Shadow's gaze locked onto him, a flicker of recognition crossed the man's face. A moment of fear. With a slight movement of his wrist, the Shadow activated a hidden device. The room's lights flickered, then went out. A loud crash followed, the sound of glass shattering. The crowd erupted in panic. In the darkness, there was only one person moving with purpose: the Shadow. The man stumbled back, terrified, but it was too late. The shadow was upon him, a force of rage and precision. There would be no escape. With cold calculation, the shadow cornered him. The man begged for mercy, but there would be none. The final act of vengeance was swift, final. The man who had taken everything from him, who had ruined his life, now faced the consequences of his actions. The city would never forget the night the lights went out. The night the shadow made them all pay for their sins.